Well, thanks for streaming with us. You know, Apple just unveiled its first brand new product in nearly 10 years. Apple Vision Pro, the new mixed reality headset, blends the real and digital world. It's Apple's first new product launch since the Apple Watch in 2014. So let's talk about it some more, of course, with our contributor and Google Tech Policy Fellow, Mike Muse. All right, so Mike, break down. I have to say, I'm not really good at this stuff. I'm not very much of a techie. My kids have to educate me on all this. How amazing was this? Just tell me, because you're the expert.
Just as somebody who was involved and interested in tech, this is so huge and big. This is what technology and innovation is. This is technology and innovation in a product. We have had different versions of VR sets. We have heard of VR is virtual reality for your audience. AR is augmented reality for your audience. But this is Apple redefining VR and AR into what is called spatial computing. And basically, spatial computing allows physical objects. It optimizes it to feel extremely real. So it feels like when you have the headsets on, that you are actually touching and engaging with the Instagram app. When you are on the VR in the AR world, when you're wearing the headset, it's as if you're changing the television yourself. Because guess what, Kira? You actually can. The way Apple has done it, just a pinch of your fingers, when you're looking at something with the headset on, you can actually create as if your hands are remote control. That is game changing. The spatial awareness and spatial sound, what that means, Kira, is almost as if we're listening to music with the headset on. It's as if we're at a concert in our living room. That is how well the audio is going to do. When you're playing a video game, it's already going to come with 100 arcade games already, as if, and I saw what the demonstration they did was a basketball video game. So it's almost as if you're on the court, sitting courtside seats, which are so expensive, and you are controlling the game with literally just your fingers and or the remote control set. This is game changing. This is revolutionary. This is going to change the way we even interact with people, Kira. The way they're doing the FaceTime now is if you put the headset on, is if you and the person you're talking to on the other side is sitting in your living room. Can you imagine the beautiful experience you can have on FaceTime with your mom having coffee?
Oh my gosh, that actually would be a dream come true. Dan Ackerman, I understand we've linked up with you now. You are the editorial director for computers and gaming at CNET. You are there just outside of the event. I know you ran out just to team up with us here and tell us about everything that you just saw. So tell me, you know, for you, I mean, Mike's been kind of putting this into perspective of how big of a deal this is. What did you see that you think is so amazing here? What's the game changer for you?
I think the important thing about a brand new product category like this is really going to be the pitch. How do you get people to adopt this? How do you get people to buy it? Now, even though it's big and fancy and shiny, there's really one thing working against it immediately, which is that going into it, everybody thought this Vision Pro was going to be $3,000. Well, guess what? It's $3,500. So it's even more expensive than people's predictions, which are already, priced it outside of what most, what almost any consumer would be willing to buy. So I think they're really pitching it initially really as more for software developers, for people who want to make apps for it, for people at big companies who want to experiment with augmented reality. Maybe if you want to have a really fancy office environment where you bring other people in for FaceTime calls and everyone's floating there in 3D, it's going to be less of a home device, less of something like the Oculus Quest is that's, $300 because this is $3,500. So of course, I think this initial announcement of it is really to kind of get people in the industry excited versus more regular consumers who might someday buy a product like this.
Got it. So, Mike, Disney CEO Bob Iger, by the way, we are a part of Disney, was actually on stage to introduce a collaboration with Apple Vision Pro. So tell us about this. We were clearly on the air. We were trying to listen in, but tell us.
Yeah, so basically we're going to have Disney Plus and ESPN will be already, just as I was mentioning, the 100 arcade games will be loaded in. We will be able to experience the Disney Plus product series shows and ESPN in the same way as we're watching the games, as we're watching the shows that we love to watch on Disney Plus. We'll be able to use our fingers as a remote control and toggle between the different shows and series, even by selecting the program that we want to watch just merely by looking at it. But to me, I look at that just in the beginning stages of what could be done. Here, I'm really excited to see, will Bob Iger and Tim Cook, will they actually bring this into the parks unto themselves? The Imagineers at Disney are like no other in reimagining rides and experiences. So imagine if they were able to incorporate this spatial computing for Apple into the ride experiences that we have in the park. That will also be more game-changing and additive to a seamless experience for families who go to Disney World and theme parks around the world on a daily basis. But for right now, in particular, is for the Disney Plus and ESPN to enjoy the video content programming.
Wow. Well, Dan, I know there were a lot of other announcements made outside of virtual reality, right? So what stood out to you?
Yeah, besides the Vision Pro headset, they have a new 15-inch version of the MacBook Air. They've got updates to the Mac Studio and Mac Pro desktops. These have been coming for a long time with new, faster chips. Basically, every Mac now runs on Apple's own chips. They've gotten rid of Intel completely, and that took several years, but they're out of the Intel business. And, of course, there are a lot of updates coming to, iOS and the other operating systems. One of the ones I thought was the most amusing was that if you're typing, autocorrect will often take, let's say, curse words and change them into something else. So now your phone will no longer type ducking. It will know what you're trying to say, and it will learn from you, and then you will get more accurate texting.
I have no idea what word you're talking about, Dan. Absolutely no idea. Boy, we have come a long way since Pong, gentlemen.
I stand with Kira. I have no idea what Dan is talking about.
It's going to be a ducking surprise.
Yes, it is. Mike and Dan, thank you so much. I'm glad we connected.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.